Good morning. This is 60 Seconds to Serenity with me, Gregg Hammond. And it is Thursday, January 4, 2018. I'm going to get these glasses off of here if I can. Interesting little effect there. Hopefully, your morning is starting off with this 60 Seconds to Serenity, where we're using these tools to enhance and sustain and maintain your peaceful, serene, calm mind. The power of the serene mind, the power of a calm mind is the goal, to maintain that. And with the 60 Seconds to Serenity, as you're using your breathing along with your powerful affirmations and your gratitude, you shift yourself into a higher vibration. And if you've already achieved that, being in a higher vibration, you bring yourself even higher and maintain that. It's easier to maintain. Just like anything that you do in repetition, if you're in that flow and you're continuing to do something over and over, it becomes easier and easier, becomes a habit. And the idea of the 60 Seconds to Serenity is that with these tools, it becomes easier and easier for you to be in that calm, serene mind where you can respond to things going on, which means that you're able to steer through your day. You're able to steer the boat. And if you've ever been on the water and been on a boat, it is different than moving on wheels or walking or other ways of moving, right? If you're moving on the water and you're steering, there's a different way that you control that. And so being able to respond to things going on in your day gives you better control than if you were moving in a boat and you came across something in front of you that you had to move around. The maneuvering and the steering is very different. You don't really have the brakes that you do in a car the same way, unless you've had a lot of experience, and depending on what kind of propulsion you have, it changes. That dynamic changes. The more that you practice with any of those, the better you get. You can see far out there across the water here. Is that lake, is that frozen? Is it a frozen lake? Probably not a lake. It's probably more like ocean, right? It's an awareness thing, is ask questions all the time. The most powerful thing you can do is to ask questions throughout your day. Always be curious and inquisitive, like a child. Keep that same curiosity and that same imagination in your mind, and you can produce tremendous results. And that's usually, we're taught a lot of times in school at an early age to pay attention and to focus. And focusing is important, it's very good, but being able to allow your imagination to continue to be exercise that imagination. So is that a lake? Is that frozen, that pretty blue frozen ice, frozen water? Is that what it looks like there? Is that snow out there in that far shore? Is that all snow that's landed? Probably not, right? Because you can see that it would. Why not? Because it would be on the trees, most likely, if that was. But then there are different elements there. So anyway, that's awareness building. Part of the 60 Seconds to Serenity is building our awareness. Awareness of things that we're grateful for. We make our great gratitude list. 10 things each day. You're starting your day off with 10 things that you're grateful for. It can be, when I say things, you're putting 10 things on that page, right? It can be people, it can be places, it can be experiences, and you're just going through and thinking about, in a little bit of detail, each one of those things. If it's some person in your life or a group of people, you're thinking about how much you enjoy the services they provide, the relationship that you have with them. You're focusing on those bright and happy parts of that person or the group of people. If it's something, maybe it's you know, sitting in a particular chair or a place in your house. Maybe it's like the hammock back here. Maybe you're grateful for a hammock that you have hanging in a tree. Maybe you're grateful for somebody who's shoveling snow if you're in a place that's getting a lot of snow. Maybe you're grateful for somebody who's been able to help you with clearing out debris if you're in a place that has gone through storms, like where the hurricanes have come through. So thinking about your gratitude, it could be all these different things. I have pants and clothes and big breakfast and the calm and serene mind that we're harnessing here. That's something I'm grateful for. So I make my list. I think about all of those particular things. Staying hydrated, plenty of water throughout your day, right? Writing with your non-dominant hand. We've done a ton of this non-dominant hand writing exercise, which up to this point we were just writing your name and the day of the week and the number on the calendar, the year, the sunrise, the time of sunrise, the time of sunset, the humidity and the wind. And so we started with just your name, and then we went through and we did all of those together as a collective paragraph. And then what I recommend is that I'm going to hold this up and we'll see if you can screenshot it, right? Oh, I didn't reverse the camera. There's awareness for me today, right? I didn't do that yet. Now I'm on a different beach in a different place, right? I'm very grateful that there's technology to do that. So I'm going to hold this up and see if it'll hop in there. This is from Bob Proctor, who created this paragraph. I hold it long enough, you can come back to this video. But it's talking about shifting your paradigm. I'll read it to you. It says, rather than permitting my paradigm to employ all my spiritual power to hold me back or keep me where I am, I make this committed decision, regardless of how difficult it may be for a period of time. My paradigm shift is constant and certain. And that was from Bob Proctor, suggesting the non-dominant hand exercise. And that's a big paragraph. That's a lot to write out. So what we did with the 60 Seconds to Serenity from October all the way through until now is we've been writing with a non-dominant hand, and we've been doing a small paragraph or little bits. We did what I just mentioned there with your name and the particulars of the weather. And part of that is so that your awareness builds tracking the weather, noticing the difference, the changes, where the wind is coming from each day, how much the humidity changes when the sun rises. It's not the same every day, right? And how much does it change? The idea is that you're tracking all of that, so the tracking element there is building your awareness. The more that you build your awareness, the easier it is for you to track yourself. And that's part of this, the focus of the 60 Seconds to Serenity that I'm doing here, is that you're focusing on you, on the most important place to start with all of your work to be better yourself so that you can be better for your community. And that is good news, right? So I always, news flash, your life just got a whole lot easier from using the 60 Seconds to Serenity tools that I'm sharing with you here, which is a collection of things that I've learned from teachers over decades of study. Another very powerful element is to keep smiling, right? Is to keep smiling throughout the day. And if you observe yourself, your awareness building tools are bringing your awareness higher. If you observe yourself, notice how much do you smile. Is it something that is easy? Is it something that you do all the time? Or is your day keeping the wheels turning, grinding through things that aren't keeping you smiling, that are keeping you in a frowning face? If so, you could get some of these cards and become part of the Keep Smiling movement, which is to get 1 billion of these cards all the way around the globe so that everybody has these. And I've released my first book of the Keep Smiling movement. I'm going to do 3 more. I'll have 4 Keep Smiling books. The first one, excuse me, is on Amazon, and you can get that I will show you that. I'll have that. I grabbed that off the bookshelf there. I wanted to suggest some books. I'm going to suggest a few each week, right, to read. The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. This particular version is good. That's a good book. Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's no longer with us in the physical form, but he is around here still teaching. I can see clearly now. That's a beautiful book. For track, those are for just expanding and understanding yourself. Because the focus is you. The focus is training yourself to be in the higher vibration and to stay there with these tools that I'm sharing with you. If you've just tuned in for one of the first times, you're welcome to go back through my timeline. I also have my crew preparing these videos so that they're on YouTube so that you can go through and see them each day. We're talking about the power of the power of you to make choices, to raise your vibration. Use your breathing, use your affirmations, your power of your gratitude to keep you in that higher vibration so that you can respond to things and stay in the calm, serene mind. And I play chimes because chimes are very powerful. Sound healing, sound meditation. The guitar. Putting music into your day, that's another way to raise your vibration, and use the 60 seconds of Serenity. So if you pick out your favorite song, something that makes you very happy, use powerful affirmations like I am happy, I am healthy, I live in paradise. And when I say I live in paradise, when I say I live in paradise, what I mean is not like just there in the islands or in this frozen lake. If that's a frozen lake, who knows what that is, whether that's frozen or whether that's a warm beach. What does your imagination tell you that it is? But in paradise, living in paradise doesn't necessarily have to be there. Maybe that's what you consider paradise, but paradise should be, and through the 60 seconds to Serenity tools, paradise should be wherever you go, wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, wherever you're walking, wherever you're commuting, wherever you're relaxing in a hammock. 60 seconds to Serenity tools should help you be in paradise no matter where you go. Wherever you are, you're in paradise. And so the statement, I live in paradise, means that you are in paradise in your mindset, in your vibration, and you have control of that, which is something that isn't necessarily taught in school. And so we end up going through our day reacting to things. And if you can respond, you take the power and the control. And so building awareness is very important. I've talked about how the tools that I'm sharing here are helping you build awareness. This book, Games People Play, is a really good book, but it's a challenging read because it is written out with some very dense language, and so it may seem challenging in the beginning, but you could just go through and read some of the games that are in here that people play. Now the idea is that you're using this for your own awareness and to build awareness of people that you encounter, and understand that you have the ability to control the way that you respond. You can't control somebody else, but you can control you and the way that you respond. Being aware and knowing what kind of games people play, and understanding that it's habitual. It is something that was learned, and many people don't even realize that they're doing it. They don't even know that they're playing those games. They don't know that it's been passed down and that they've inherited those, so to speak, or they've learned them from television and movies and commercials and these environments and or things in our environment that influence our subconscious mind and go in there, and you could say that they become weeds if they're not effective, if they're games that don't serve you very well. And we're working on you and you serving you to come into a higher vibration so that you can better serve people. And that's the result that happens as you become a better person. You start realizing how much you can influence and affect other people. And that raises your vibration as you start to do that. So it's empowering you to empower the rest of the world, and it is a even flow out. It is a concentric ring. We talked about concentric rings. If this water behind me is a very warm beach, and you go to skip a stone, you can watch it skip out across the water, and you can see those concentric rings going out. Right, those concentric rings happen everywhere, regardless of whether it is on a body of water where a stone has been skipped, or whether it's you toss a boulder off the edge of a higher cliff into a lake, and you see those ripples go out, where you can observe that from above. Or if you're sitting in traffic and somebody's trying to cut you off, and you make a choice to respond instead of reacting, instead of like, no, don't get in front of me. You could very easily respond with the smile, waving, and say, hey, go ahead, get in front of me. And it's interesting, I've driven all over the United States, and I've observed different types of drivers, but the thing that I've observed is that the concentric ring of drivers in traffic, when people let them in, or when people don't let them in, and how that continues. It just grows out, the concentric rings of that. So you can shift those concentric rings by making a choice, a conscious choice to respond to the way that something in the situation, and be caring, giving, loving in that situation. The higher the vibration that you're in, the easier it is to respond and to do something that shows compassion. Bring yourself into that high vibration and stay in that high vibration by using these tools of 60 Seconds to Serenity. And there are a ton of things. I know I keep adding more and more stuff, and if you need to review what these things have, what I've been putting in here, what they've been, go back to those videos and check them out, right? So I showed you the non-dominant hand exercise thing again, and I'll put it up there again. It's from Bob Proctor. He is the Paradigm Doctor. That's what I wrote a song called Bob Proctor, Paradigm Doctor, because that's what he reminds me of. The paradigms are a collection of habits that end up, stuff that you do, habitual. Go through your day, you do the same thing, and then your day is done. You're like, wow, how does anybody find time to do all of those things that they're doing? And it's because their awareness is up, they paid attention, and they figured out how to designate, they make choices to designate a certain amount of time to do certain things. Knowing where time is lost to habits that you don't want, or that you don't even know are there, is very important. And the tools here of the 60 Seconds to Serenity will take you right up to a higher vibration so that you are more aware and can respond. The Global Jam for Peace magnetic, refrigerator magnet, and or stickers, right? This is your steering wheel to a peaceful world, right? I'll send you one of these if you give me your address. For the month of January, I'll do that. I did it through October, November, December. I will still do it for the month of January. I'll send out those, and no cost to you. Postage, I'll pay that. If you want Keep Smiling cards, you do pay the postage unless you decide to buy yourself a gift. If you buy yourself a gift, two things happen. That if, say, you buy a $25 gift card for a clothing store or a coffee shop, that money goes to a card for you, and the same amount is matched and goes to the charity of your choice. That's amazing. And that is because Barry Shore, who is the founder of the Keep Smiling movement and an amazing human being, thought how do we make this work, and he created that. And so if you go to the Daily Smile, it'll tell you, hey, if you'd like to save postage, you can go to Delighted and register there, get yourself a gift card, have given that money to charity. And I know it sounds like something's missing there. Barry is a genius, and he figured out how to do that. So there's nothing missing. It's actually as good as it sounds. Go to Delighted, you get yourself a gift card so that you can use the gift card, and that same amount of money goes to the charity. And because he worked out so that it actually goes to the charity, the money, you buy the card and the money goes to charity. You get the card, you spend it on you give the card to somebody else. And when you do that, your postage will be paid for your Keep Smiling cards. And I'm gonna grab these cards. I want to show you. It's kind of exciting. I have a little batch right here, right? And the Keep Smiling, if you didn't know, I did my first Keep Smiling book. I have 4 more coming out. This one is up on Amazon. I'm not sure if they have the color version up there, right? Full color pictures. But I think there's a version, at least one version. So you can get the Keep Smiling cards, right? And some of them have messages on the back about the movement. You can get them in a lot of different languages. Oops. You can get them in a lot of different languages. So if you have friends in different countries that you'd like to send some cards to, you could do that. You could tell them about that. So you can have the postage paid for your Keep Smiling cards, buy yourself a gift card, and have donated to a charity of your choice. I just realized I forgot to tell you about the non-dominant, to last little bit there. We've been doing non-dominant hand exercises. A little bit of water there. It's when you're writing this paragraph out, you're doing it with your non-dominant hand. You can go back and screenshot it so that you got that. And I'll type it into the comments here too as well. Unless somebody else was able to do that and can type that into the comments, then fantastic. So the idea is that you're doing that twice per day. You write that paragraph out in the morning and write it out later on in the evening. And you do that with your non-dominant hand. If you're looking to keep pushing your non-dominant hand exercise, you can do all of the exercise that we've been doing with your name and the sunrise, sunset, all that information. And that paragraph, you can also do all of your gratitude, your list of gratitude. You can do that with your non-dominant hand. That's how I do mine, and I'll keep adding. We're growing. We've planted seeds. The very beginning of seeds are seeds being pushed down in the soil. We prepared the soil over the last couple of months here. As we come into 2018, you want to focus on continuing, and if you have not started until now, that's great. That's okay. You are where you are, and as you come into a new year, a lot of people think I'm going to start my New Year's resolution and then stick to it, and hit some bumps and get discouraged. Don't worry about that type of thing. If you hit a bump or you hit a pothole as you're going along doing this, realize that all you got to do is just pick right back up. And that idea is that you're encouraged by the ability to raise your vibration and seeing others succeed. All the people that succeed are using the same tools. Some are consciously doing it, and some are unconsciously doing that. I'm here to show you how to consciously add these things in so that you can expand your awareness, raise your vibration. Expand your awareness, raise your vibration. And it works in the opposite. You're going to raise your vibration, which expands your awareness. And these two are like concentric rings. When you throw a stone into the pond and it hits that water and makes those waves that go out to the shore, and then those eventually come back. You're doing the same thing, where you're improving this, you're doing these simple exercises that I'm showing you, right? And you're combining them together, and the result is going to be profound. And we're right at the very beginning of the year. It's not even finished the first week of the year, and it's pretty interesting that it's the very first day of the year was a Monday this year. So we started on a Monday, and we're not even through the first week. You want to be excited that you are able to watch this and do some of these exercises. And if you have been doing them, congratulations on that. If you're just getting started, congratulations on just getting started. This is a fantastic journey. There's a lot of really amazing stuff that I'm going to share, and we are going through, we're doing the process of preparing soil, and then we're planting seeds, and things will start to grow. And you'll look back and you'll see a whole entire field of things that have grown and expanded and blossomed before you know it. Like it'll seem like you're still doing the same thing. Are we doing the same thing again? Yes, we are, because of the repetition, the power of repetition. That's how you get better at everything. And so it's exciting, because I know that as you're doing these things, all of a sudden you're going to look back and say, wow, what an outstanding, amazing collection of results that have happened from doing what seems like a bunch of little simple things, right? Those will all come together, and it will become your new paradigm. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'm really thankful that you guys that you tune in and that you watch this and that you share it with people. There are a lot of very amazing groups here on Facebook. You can find the Global Jam for Peace Ambassadors and the Global Jam for Peace page. Those as a group and a page. And the Power of the Positive People's Army. That's another great one. There are tons of them. If you start to find pages, you'll find like-minded. If you spend your time there as opposed to watching movies and television and things that are going to put things you don't want in your subconscious mind, if you spend your time doing that, you're investing in you. And so congratulations on doing that. I say congratulations in advance, because I'm sure that in the next couple of weeks you'll have gone through and found some of those groups. You're welcome to share this with anybody that you think is interested in a personal shift in their life and raising their vibration and creating new habits, or anybody that you think might enjoy this. Feel free. So peace, love, music. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna put on my 2018? 2018. Oh, that's backwards now, because I had it so that you could read the Keep Smiling. So you can read these. I had to reverse it. Anyway, let me see here. All right. This is the end of today's broadcast. Peace, love, music. See you tomorrow.